What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction. In this, we have freedoms I have in the Netherlands that I don't have in America. I am very intrigued to see what freedoms, the difference, I guess, between the Netherlands and America when it comes to freedoms. Before we dive in, though, if you guys happen to enjoy, please don't forget to subscribe and give a video a thumbs up. And let's look at these freedoms we ain't got.
So as an American living in the Netherlands, when I make these videos about the differences that I see between America and the Netherlands, someone always pulls up in the comments with, yeah, but we got freedoms. And I look, no country's perfect, and I know that America prides itself of being the land of the free. But is it though? Working. And not for nothing, I've been a bit hesitant on this subject, or like making a video on this subject, only because I've been trying to decide how to approach it. I've made a couple of notes, and I think the best way to approach this is to literally maybe talk about the freedoms, not in a sense of differences, but, well, yeah, kind of a difference, but the things that matter to me. Side note, yes, I did bring an umbrella because it was raining like crazy when I left this morning, and now completely sunny.
You gotta keep it around to be prepared, though. You can't never be too prepared. Never know when it's gonna start coming down again.
Throughout this tunnel. Oh snap! Got about to miss the train. And now, yes, I know neither country is perfect, but again, this is just things that are important to me. Starting with, man, I think it was raining. Oh no! Oh, and I left my umbrella.
Hey, I told you gotta keep it and stay prepared, man. You got to.
Umbrella on the train.
God dang.
The freedom of self. And I gotta explain this because I know it can sound, just freedom of self doesn't make any sense. So what I mean by freedom of self is simply that in the States, I feel like people don't really have this freedom or this right, because most people will identify others and themselves with what either they're doing with their job or who they're voting for. And it's something that you just cannot get away from. I mean, it's in every conversation you're gonna have, because that's what people are identifying themselves with. And it's, to be honest, it's a bit weird. Versus here, look, I don't do that at all. I could give. Look, I love my job and everything, but my job is not my life.
I feel that. I feel that.
Real. Oh no, we're gonna have to duck in here. It's starting to rain. Dang, I wish I didn't leave my umbrella on the train. But the reason I feel that I don't do that here is because it's the environment. No one talks about these things like that here. I'm being real. Look, I've been here almost 4 years. Not one person ever did a conversation starter about what I did or asked me who I was. Not one person. If we talk about the job, either I brought it up first, or it's more like we became really good friends and they'll ask how's work. For the most part, it's mostly about how's your family, how's your health,
love that.
What are you enjoying doing these days? Are you running, or you know what I mean? It's more about just you. What sucks about that whole thing of identifying yourself with work or identifying yourself with a politician, if the person doesn't like what you do, for example, or looks down on it, or doesn't like who you're voting for, you're basically, you can't be friends with that person almost. That's exactly what it feels like.
And that's crazy.
Not your work ethic, nothing. Just who you identify with. It's coming out. We're dipping out. It's coming. Oh, big old drip. But I would say my next freedom here is,
I would say when it comes to freedom of self, to me it sounds like that's more so what like other people try to put on you. Like you yourself, you're free to kind of express yourself and free to, I guess, not tie yourself to the job if that's not what you want to do. But he's right. In America, a lot of people love to tie themselves to their job, identify themselves by what they do, identify themselves by who they're voting for. A lot of people love to say, hey, I'm Republican, I'm Democrat, or hey, no, I'm an engineer, I'm this, I'm that. And it's like, so I understand where he's coming from 100% and having that freedom of self. The environment in the U.S., people are like, yeah, we making small talk, ask what do you do for a living and all of these things. So I definitely understand. Although like I said, I also feel like you're free to be whoever you want to be. Like, you're free to express yourself however you want to. Will they get some hate? Will you lose some friends? Will all these? Yeah, they will come along. But I mean, you are free to be whatever. But like I said, completely understand it. Let's see his next point.
The freedom of fresh goods. And I cannot look. Hear me out on this, because you
Talk
see,
to me.
in
Talk
the
to
States,
me.
I'm telling you, the food. Ever since I moved here, and I go back, one, I get sick when I eat the food, but two, the food is not as fresh. I don't know how to explain. Even if the food is cooked well or the dish is like freaking amazing, it's not as fresh. And now this could be for a variety of reasons, whether it's the way they do like these factory farms and things, to what they're putting in these animals. It's all the way to basically the convenience. And that is what America's kind of good at, is the freedom. I would say the freedom of convenience. You can get anything, for sure, any time of the year. Versus here, you kind of go with the season.
Okay.
Bye. See? Oh, that was nice. The dude said he said, "Hey, saw your videos. They're good." And yeah, the reason I say awesome. This is like a freedom I have here is because, dude, like I don't know how to explain this, but the food is just so much fresher. The vegetables, the fruits, spices, all that stuff, even the meat, all of that stuff is much better. Like miles, like it's night and day difference of how
not
fresh
even
this
close
stuff is versus
not
in
even
the States.
Close.
People don't have that freedom. I mean, you don't. I'm just being real. You gotta look for it. Like, you gotta really look for it. Versus for me, look, it's on every block, every grocery store. The quality is good. Now, will you be able to get strawberries or something like that throughout the year? No. But I'm telling you, it's a trade-off I'm willing to make. Also here, we also have freedom of safety because it...
And I feel that, I mean, I can't really argue with them. So in order to get the freshest of foods here, I mean, you're going to have some money in your pocket. You're going to have some bread because it's going to be expensive to get the freshest of the fresh. So, yeah, we don't have that freedom of fresh goods. And, like, you do hear a lot of people, expats from America going to different countries, eating the food, absolutely loving it, coming back to the U.S., eating and getting sick. You do hear those stories multiple times from multiple videos. And so, yeah. I can't really argue that one. I'm just gonna have to agree with them because I have heard it multiple times, and like one person said, you might be able to, and that's just his experience. But if multiple people start saying it, you like, okay, it got to be a bit of truth to this. So freedom of freshness, okay, that's one we may not have.
It is extremely safe here. Not gonna lie, my wife can go out at night. She works late at night sometimes, and she teaches classes. No problems ever getting home. I don't have to wait up for her. I don't need to meet her halfway or take insane with my kids. My kids are free to go outside. People are always outside. I mean, unless it's like cold and chilly like today, and you forget your umbrella, then yeah, a lot of people will be inside. But you do feel pretty safe, and yeah, I mean, I'm so happy that we can go out and just be, because I love being outside. And I'm just so happy that I can give that to my kids too as well. They can be outside, they can go to the park. We can do things without feeling like you're in a box, because that's mostly, we hot, aren't we? Because I'm not gonna lie, man, that's what it feels like in the States. It feels like to be safe, you're like in a box, like you're not around other people, you don't know your neighbors, like it's like a whole thing that I just cannot wrap my head around to save my life. But also too, I also feel safe talking to, I could go up and talk to police officers, any one of them, and I feel cool. I don't care how they look, I don't care none. Look, I'm telling you, it's a game changer, man. For real. That was one of the things I mentioned in a couple of videos, but I am a bit nervous talking to a police officer. You know what I mean? In the States,
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Now, look,
I feel you.
Police officers. I love police officers.
Yeah.
Got my full support. They got hard jobs. I get it.
Yes.
But
agreed.
Just based off of my experiences, I wouldn't pull up on them and ask them questions. Something else too is I ain't never seen anybody here just carrying a stick on them. If you don't know what a stick is, I'll link it right.
I know what the stick is. I know what the stick is.
I ain't never seen that either. And also with that, you're not getting a ton of gun violence. You're also not getting mass shootings, which means I don't have to worry about going to the mall or my kids in school. I don't have to worry about that moving forward. I do not have to worry about that. Versus in the States, I mean, right before we left, there was a shooting in the mall, and I mentioned this in the video, but there was a shooting in the mall, and my wife was there. And
oh wow!
she freaked out. Like, it was like a whole thing. Like, and to me, it says a lot to only feel that way or feel safe if you have to be in a box, or if you have to be in your suburb neighborhood inside your suburb home. Like, that's how most people feel safe. And is that freedom of safety? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I get you.
Now, since I just brought up the whole suburb thing, but also too,
I feel like I definitely get that standpoint. That's also another one you hear from expats traveling the world, just kind of talking about how much safer these other countries are than the U.S. It upsets and frustrates me to no end the amount of mass shootings and school shootings and literal parents having to worry about sending your kids to school. It disgusts me the fact that you have to worry if they're going to come back home from school. It disgusts me that you could go to a mall and mass shooting. Yet nothing is ever done when these things happen. It feels like the gun laws never change. Nothing happens. We mourn these families who lost loved ones for a little bit, and then we move on until it happens again and again and again and again, and nothing ever changes. So that is extremely frustrating and upsetting, 100% as an American. I hate it. The women, I feel like there's a lot of videos I've seen of women being afraid to walk home at night in the U.S. I personally never have, but with all of these women saying this, it tells you a story. Hey, a lot of bad things happening. So it's just, when it comes to safety, there are a lot more safe countries than the U.S. And I wish that was something that we could change the narrative on, and that we could, a lot of issues that we got to fix. Also, like him, I'm not going up to talk to no police officers. I don't know. I feel like, not that I've ever myself personally been done wrong, but I don't know. They're just a nervous feeling. You feel like you're in trouble when I go past the police. Your heart pumps a little faster or beats a little faster. I don't know. So I feel what he's saying.
This is something that a lot of people don't know or don't think about. But we also have the freedom from HOA. I don't know how to let me see how
I feel that.
HOA corruption. That's what I'm going to go ahead and say. And so for the people watch who don't know what HOA fees are, it's like extra homeowner insurance, but it's through it's like the collective neighborhood is paying this insurance. And now, it sounds amazing in theory, but what's been happening is these people who control the HOA are basically bumping up these prices. The prices can only go up. They never go down. And then also with the HOA, you have to basically ask for permission to do anything to your house. Even though you're in your own house, It's not like this where it's connected to other buildings. You have your own house, you have your own yard, but let's just say you want to change the fence. Well, if your neighborhood has a HOA, you gotta basically ask for permission to change the fence, and they could say no. You're still paying those fees. But the reason I brought this up was because I was talking with a friend who, again, she lives in the suburbs, has a house, but she also, her neighborhood, you have to pay HOA fees. Super nice house, but you have to pay HOA fees. She just told me her HOA fees just went up. They just went up from $300. But anyway,
that's crazy. A month is crazy.
To $625.
Ain't no way.
$625.
Ain't no way. That's insane.
And her other home insurance. This is a fee on top of all of that. Now, in theory, HOA fees, they were supposed to be a good thing, but they kind of gotten out of hand in America within the past 10 years. And now, on the flip side of that, the reason I say it's more freedom here with HOAs, because we actually do have HOAs, not called HOA. I think it's called something. But basically, we have this fee that we pay for the insurance for the entire building. So if I live on the bottom, someone lives on top, we come collectively together, agree on what insurance we should get, and we pay it. Meanwhile, also paying our own insurance as well for the individual top and bottom floors. And also, I just can't go to the neighbor and be like, yo, you owe me $200 now because we're bumping the HOA fees up. We cannot do that. But in the States, though, that's technically what they're doing. And if you don't pay, you lose your home. Versus here,
wild.
Equivalent, my HOA here is literally, I think, $200 a year, and every year it's negotiable.
That's it.
We can go back and forth and just like, you know what? Let's go with this bank, and we'll go with a different bank because they're offering a better deal. Well, I don't even know why I came down here. I actually want to go to a coffee shop that way.
I feel like, I've never owned a home myself, but we were looking at homes, and then we were looking at like HOA fees and all that you were and weren't allowed to do. And I just don't like the idea of myself, like actually buying a home and then being told what I can and can't do with my home, in front of my home, outside my home. It's like I bought this. This is my home. Like, I should be able to do whatever I want to do with it. I paid for it. And so the fact that you have to pay these fees, like insurance, but with the HOA, like, you have all these rules and regulations you got to follow. I don't rock with that one bit. I'm not a fan of it. And the jump from 300 to 625, that's criminal. That's theft, bro. That is absolute theft.
And now, while we make our way to the other side where I actually wanted to go, the next couple of freedoms that I would say that matter to me is the freedom of affordable healthcare and the freedom of affordable education. Because besides how crazy HOA fees are just like crazy expensive, what's also crazy expensive is education and healthcare in the States. I mean, when it comes to education, I'll be real. I don't know anybody that is not paying off student loans. Not one person, unless they just did not go to college. Because look, I know a lot of people who had a lot of great education, but they're paying, like, I know a guy who's paying like $200 and plus in student loans.
God, what was he, a doctor?
$200 plus student loans. We're talking about $200,000.
He had to be a doctor, bro.
Loans. Can you imagine?
God dang.
$200 plus $1,000 in debt just because you went to a 4-year college? Like, I'm just saying, look, I'm going to keep it 1,000 with you. Ain't nothing special about the college you went to. Nothing. Like, he got a good job. I mean, to be honest, I hate to say this, but a lot of schools here are just as good, but cost, it's like pennies compared to $200,000. Come on, $200,000. Like, that's insane. And now, lucky for me, I'm still paying off my student loans, but I am like, almost, look, when I came out of college, I ended up paying, I think it was like 40 grand, and then with interest, close to like 50. Ooh. And again, 40 or 50 doesn't sound that much, but come on. Like,
that's a lot of money.
You're just getting out of college. Most likely, you're broke. Most likely, you didn't even start your career yet. Let's keep it 1,000. Like, this is real. And you're coming out with that amount of debt. Like, just a large amount of debt. But now let's go ahead and make our way to healthcare, because
I feel like I went like 30K in school debt. I mean, I ain't paid a cent back yet because I ain't made enough money to pay them back yet. So on my plan, my monthly rate is $0 at the moment. I'm hoping it stay that way, and hope one of these presidents can come along and say we're gonna erase student debt, or it's just gonna stay there until I pass. They just gonna have to. They never gonna get it. But I'm determined not to pay it unless I just hit the lottery big or something.
Healthcare is, believe it or not, healthcare is expensive. But here it is more affordable. I pay $140 for me, 100 and something for my wife, and the healthcare is good. Like, we got really good healthcare. And every time I've gone to the doctor, I've never had a bill pop up later saying, look, you owe $5,000 or something like that. I never had that. And now that happened to me a lot in the States, though. Like, I'm just, look, I know I'm not the smartest dude, but sometimes I would get bills from, like, going to the doctor or for something happening, and I don't understand these bills. Like, I'll be real. I don't understand why I got these bills. I mean, even when it comes to having kids, we had my first son in LA, we had my second son here in Harlem, right? Completely different experience. Like, just night and day. Come out, great experience in Harlem, maybe 50 euros. Come out over there, kind of mediocre, kind of 10, or I think it was maybe 10 or 15. It had to be, I think it was 15. I think it was like $15,000 bill that we got after we had our son, and we had health. That's what I don't understand. We had health insurance. Why are we paying all this extra money?
Facts.
So not only did we have a much better experience having my second son here in Harlem, but we also didn't come out with a large amount of debt or hidden bills, and we both were able to get a significant time off. I did not
That's
have this amount
beautiful.
of time off when I was in the state when I had my first son. Did not have, like, I think what I ended up doing was using vacation days and sick days or something like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and for
I
me
feel
personally,
you.
with
Yeah.
affordable healthcare and affordable education, it's like you have the freedom to be sick. You have the freedom to
True.
get
True.
educated and go a little bit further than what you, because I'm gonna be real. I almost thought about doing more school, but I would not do more school simply because the cost is just too high. I'm just
Same.
I love school.
Same.
I don't love the prices. Okay,
Nope.
got our coffee. We're over here at Cleveland.
I legit almost thought about like doing more too, and then I looked at the price of getting a graduate degree, and I was like, no, I can't. There's no point. And it wasn't because I love school or that I needed an extra graduate degree for my career. I was having so much fun in college that I wasn't ready to be done yet. I wanted to stay longer because I graduated with my bachelor's. I wanted to stay longer, but I just looked at the price and it just didn't make sense. I was like, I got to get out and I got to go to work. So yeah, I mean, he's not lying about that, and it's ridiculous. Healthcare. Me and my wife, we just had our first son not too long ago. Luckily, she was on Medicaid, and so we didn't have to cover any of the costs of the birth. The insurance took care of everything. Thank you, Jesus. Because if we had to pay out of pocket, we just wouldn't have been able to have a kid. We just wouldn't have been able to have a kid. And my son is literally, I love him so freaking much, so I can't imagine life without him. But yeah, healthcare to most unaffordable. My wife and my son are covered by Medicaid, like they're covered with their insurance, and they don't have to pay. But me personally, I don't have any kind of insurance, so if something happened to me, we're going bankrupt around here.
And yeah, it is. Man, it is so packed in there. Jeez, man, it's packed. And then the last things I would have to say would have to be the freedom of like workers' rights as well as freedom of transport, because man, these are also two big things in the States that, man, I don't know what is going on over there.
Yeah.
But basically, when it comes to transport, the average person can get around. Like, it's not, you don't have to have a car. The infrastructure is not built where you need a car versus in the States.
I feel that.
You have to have a car.
Facts.
Well, when it comes to workers' rights, well, I remember telling a story on a video about how my best friend, one of my mentors, when I worked right before I left LA, he got laid off and he was at the company for so long and he was looking to retire there. He loved the company, great, I mean, super ethical, worked really hard, great guy. Sorry, there's a dog barking over there.
That dog upset. Well, I heard it. I heard it.
Who had got laid off after being there for so long. Literally, he got laid off. They laid him off through an email after all the work he put in.
Crazy.
Laid him off through an email. Come to find out
Crazy.
though, that something like that would never happen here. Like, it happens, but not like that. You usually know when you're about to get laid off, especially at his level, like his position and level, and the way he got laid off. That's what, when I told that story, that's what a lot of people were upset about in the comments, was how he got laid off. And I am not going to go into too many details.
I want to know now.
Workers' rights, because I'll be honest, I don't know. If you know the workers' rights, leave it in the comments below. I'm sure people will read it. Like, y'all be pulling up in the comments. So put all that in the comments, okay? But I'm telling you, look, from what I know, it's a lot better. Give them a little bit more freedom when it comes to the States.
Rights.
But now, I can speak up.
I feel like I want to know the friend's story now, because, I mean, I feel like these companies will do whatever, like, they can to be able to save the most money. So if somebody do your position for less, we going to lay you off. You done been with the company for years and years and years, and now we got to pay you too much because of raises and all that. We going to lay you off, which is absolute insanity to me. Like, that's ridiculous. And I could just let you go at a moment's notice. You feel I'm not saying all companies, and I don't know all the laws and everything, but I'm saying, like, we're expected as workers, employees, to give 2 weeks notice to companies before we leave to give them time to replace us and all that. Yet we don't really get 2 weeks notice when they ready to fire us. So I'll be like, forget all that, dog.
Freedom of transport, because oh no. Oh man, I don't know if we're gonna get through it. Almost blew me away. But no, I can speak on freedom of transport in the sense of like, it is, you don't need a car. I'm telling you, that is a huge difference. Oh man, okay, not another, I'm not even lying. I've been distracted because the camera keeps blowing over. So I don't know if I got my point across, but. And now look, I know we're talking about freedoms and everything, but quick side note, Clay has some of the best cappuccino. Man, I ain't even gonna lie. And it's like extremely hot. So look, if you are ever in Harlem, come over to Clay. When you get a chance, tell him Sky Money sent you, and you will get a free receipt.
Not Sky Money.
I do have to ask
not Sky Money.
Would y'all live up in there? Look at this place. Man,
yeah, I would. Yeah, I would.
I know before in vlogs, but man, I really like this place right here. And the place
that's beautiful.
Are nice.
It's a cathedral.
But they were just a bit too small for what we were looking for. That's why we didn't move up in there. Also, side note, the sun, the sun is coming. Oh, look at that. Look over there. That's a horse.
Oh. And he is.
Pull up, I just spot on a horse. Give me a horse. And I think, you know what? I think we're gonna wrap it up there. I would love to know what you guys think though, because this was it was kind of a hard video to make because I had to think about a lot, and I tried to keep it simple and like legit because again, I don't know all the law, so that's what I'm just saying.
I get it.
I try not to speak on things that I really don't know about. And again, help me out. Let me know if I got anything wrong. Pull up in the comments below. And also, let me know what you guys think because I would love to know. Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think do you think one country does have better freedoms than the other? I mean, to me personally, I kind of do, and you kind of know where I'm leaning towards, but that's my personal opinion. But yeah, I would love to know what you guys think. But yeah, I think we're wrapping it up. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it, because I enjoyed making it. Ooh, kind of crooked. Hold on. Wow, dang, everybody out today.
Everybody enjoying themselves.
Because that sun came out. Yeah, man, I hope you guys enjoyed it, because I enjoyed making it. Like, comment, and subscribe. Emphasis on the subscribe. Like, I'm subscribed.
I feel that. For real. I thoroughly did enjoy that, and I feel like he's right on a lot of them. I feel like I've said it so many times in so many different videos. In the U.S., if you're rich, I honestly think it's the best country to live in if you are wealthy. Like, you have so much things at your fingertips, and you have the ability to pay for it all. And I just think if you're rich, greatest country. But for the most of us that aren't rich, and that's most of us, an overwhelming amount of us, I do think there are other countries that provide more opportunities and are better in a lot of different categories. And so, like him living in the Netherlands, it probably is much better than it ever was for him in the U.S. But like I said, if you're like, I don't know, Bill Gates or somebody, like, I don't think you'd rather live in a country other than the U.S. Y'all let me know what y'all think. If y'all enjoyed, please don't forget to subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and check out the next one. I'll see y'all next time.